What up, YouTube? I'm back. So, what a freaking great Demon Slayer episode, man. It was an amazing episode. I just love this series so much. There's only like 3 episodes left right now, so I'm gonna be so sad when the first season ends. Hopefully, there's gonna be a second season. I think there's gonna be, because it's way too popular right now to not have a second season, and it's really good, so I can't wait to see when they'll announce the second season. But anyway, this week's episode was really good. Obviously, what happened in last week's episode, we saw the Hashiras, we were introduced to them, and then there was kind of a trial for Nezuko and Tanjiro. Obviously, Nezuko is a demon, so the Hashiras didn't really want her around. They wanted to kill her because what they do is kill demons. So the trials was basically if Nezuko was going to attack one of the Hashiras because of the blood, human blood, and it was kind of hard for her, man. We saw it at the end of last week's episode. It was really hard. I didn't know if it was gonna be hard for her, because we haven't seen her like that since like the first episode. I ain't gonna lie, even though I really don't think that Nezuko will die because she's one of the main characters, I was stressing out, man. I knew that she wasn't gonna do anything really, but I was stressing the hell out. So the show, the author of this series did a really great job of creating a tension, between Tanjiro, the Hashiras, and Nezuko. So they did a really great job of that. And I guess the reason why she stopped herself or something like that is because she saw some of her memories with her father, her mother, her little brothers, and obviously little sisters, plus Tanjiro. So, and she was also reminded the phrase that Urokodaki sensei said to her, to not hurt humans. And something that I liked about seeing in her head basically is seeing Nezuko without the muzzle in her mouth. It was kind of cool to see her without it. It's been a while since we've seen it without it, sorry, since the first episode, so it was great. And we heard her voice again. So I really like hearing her talk, because we don't hear it that often. The last time that we heard her talk was against lower 5 Ruri, and it was for use of her demon art, her demon blood art. So I always love hearing her voice. But yeah, man, it was a great way to help her kind of resist the blood, because she's a demon. It's really hard, man. I didn't know that she would have a huge reaction to it. I thought that because she sleeps to recover and everything like that, I thought that she would be okay. But I guess that it's a demon nature, but she was able to fight it, and she's okay now. So I just loved that part of the episode. That was my favorite part of the episode because of the tension. Anyhow, a part of the episode that made me laugh a lot was this shot right there of Nezuko and one of the Hashiras. My bad if I don't remember their name yet. They introduced so much at the same time. I don't remember their name except for Shinobu and Gyu, so my bad about that. But that shot right there of Nezuko being mad at one of the Hashiras for what he did to her was pretty funny. But anyway, man, after that, Nezuko and Tanjiro left to be treated, basically, and we saw that girl again. She's one of the Demon Slayers. She was part of the final exam that Tanjiro was in, and we saw her knock out Tanjiro in the forest, and go after Nezuko for a while. And that moment with her and Nezuko was trending all over Twitter. I even saw videos on YouTube of that moment because of Nezuko running, little Nezuko running. So yeah, the last time that we saw her was there, and she's a pretty interesting character, because when the other members of the Demon Slayer Corps, the ones that don't fight, talk to her, she wasn't responding. She wasn't talking or anything like that. I don't know why we heard her talk earlier in this series, so I'm wondering why she wasn't responding or answering the questions that was asked to her. I think her name is Kanao Tsuyuri, and something that is pretty interesting about her is that she's a Tsugoko, and they explain that a Tsugoko is a swordsman that is being trained by an Hashira, so that's kind of interesting. And I'm wondering if because of that, Tenjiro is one of them, because he was trained by Urokodaki, he was the next Hashira, I think. So I'm wondering if he's a Tsugoko or is Tenjiro gonna be trained by the Hashiras. I don't know how many of them, but maybe by Gyu, maybe by Shinobu, maybe by the other Hashiras, so that's gonna be interesting to see. Something that I forgot to talk about in last week's review is that the Hashiras haven't really encountered Kibutsuji, so basically the Demon King. So that's really interesting because they're the strongest of the Demon Slayers and they've never encountered Kibutsuji. So that's really interesting. We know that Tenjiro encountered Kibutsuji, so the fact that none of the Hashiras has encountered him is crazy, man. Tenjiro just became a demon slayer and he's already encountered him. So I'm wondering if it was on purpose. Maybe Kibutsuji knew that Tenjiro was at this city and he went there or something like that. I don't know, but that's really interesting. Another thing that is interesting is some of the Hashiras have actually defeated some of the 12 Kizuki, so I'm wondering how many of them are left. Maybe Kibutsuji is creating some of the 12 Kizuki right now, or maybe they're just less than 12 right now. So I really want to know, man, because I didn't know that other members of the 12 Kizukis have been defeated so far. But yeah, and another thing that I really want to say is about Tenjiro. He was saying something about the master's voice. He said it multiple times in this week's episode. He said that his voice was calming or there's something special about it. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's why the Hashiras are really respecting him like that. I don't know, but there's something weird about the master. But at the same time, I don't think he's a bad dude. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on the master. There's something special about him, obviously. We saw Zenitsu at a kind of hospital being treated, and obviously he was crying, screaming, and everything like that. I don't like that about him, but it's his character right now, so I'm getting used to it. Anyway, obviously because he was poisoned by one of the demons, he was turning into a spider, which is funny because his legs and his arms are smaller than they used to be. They're gonna grow back, but because of the poison, he was becoming, a spider. So at first, I remember when the demon told him that he was gonna turn into a spider, I thought that he was kidding, but it was really going to happen. So that's kind of crazy. But yeah, like I said, we saw Zenitsu. He was getting treated. Obviously, Tenjiro came there to get treated too. And then we also saw Inosuke, and he was in a bad shape, because he was basically crushed and that he was screaming a lot. He kind of lost his voice at first, so his voice right now is different than it used to be. It's gonna take time to get back to what it used to be, I guess. So yeah, Zenitsu, Inosuke are alright. I really like those characters, especially Inosuke. So hopefully they'll become stronger and be trained by other Hashiras, hopefully. And another thing, man, before I talk about what happened at the end of the episode, there was a moment with Nezuko and Tenjiro at the near the end of the episode when he was in his room. Nezuko fell asleep, obviously, and then Tenjiro said something that was pretty sad, because right now he's human and Nezuko is a demon. So he was talking about him getting older and older and then dying, and when he's gonna die, maybe Nezuko is gonna be all alone. So that was kind of sad to think about. So that's why he's gonna find a way to get a cure for Nezuko. So that was a pretty sad moment just thinking about it. Him dying and Nezuko being all alone without any members of her family anymore. That's really, really sad because she's not getting older. I don't think so. So, yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to see if Tejo will maybe one day have a cure for Nezuko. There was so much in the episode that I forgot to say that the master actually knew about Lady Tamayo. Obviously, he knows a lot, maybe because of the pros or something like that. I don't know how, but he knew about Tanjiro knowing Lady Tamayo. Maybe the master is working with Lady Tamayo to find a cure or something like that. I don't really know, but he knows about her. So. Um We'll see, we'll see. He knows a lot of things. I want to know how, but we'll see. My second favorite part of the episode was the meeting between the Hashiras and the Master. The reason why it's my second favorite is because my first favorite moment of the episode was with Nezuko and the Hashiras with the trials at the beginning of the episode. But that second part of the episode that I really liked was this one. The meeting between the Hashiras and the Masters. And the master, and the reason why it was my second favorite moment of the episode is because they were talking about what happened in the mountains with the demons of the 12 Kizuki lower 5 Ruri, and they were talking about taking action because it was a really big event. It was something that hasn't happened in a while, I guess. And something that they really talked about is that the crime that the demons are committing have been bigger and bigger, so it's getting worse. So they basically talked about taking action, and obviously the master said something about Kibutsuji. He said that the reason why he thinks that Ruri did that is because Kibutsuji needed a diversion, because he had something to hide or something like that. I don't know what he would hide. Maybe his family. I don't know how he has a family, but maybe there's something that he wanted to hide was his family because of when he saw Tenjiro in the city. Maybe because he knew that he was a demon slayer, he thought that it would be best to hide his family. I don't know, but yeah, man. So I guess the reason why Ruri did all of that was to create a diversion for Kibutsuji, which is kind of sad because we all know that Kibutsuji used him at first when he transformed him into a demon, and he used him again, and now Ruri is dead, so that's really sad. The last thing that I want to talk about is the Hashiras, because the master said something pretty important. He said that the Hashiras that are there right now is the best unit since the first breeding technique of the feudal era, so I don't know when the feudal era is. I know that the Japanese history is pretty interesting, so one day I will study it, but that's a pretty strong unit, that's what the master is saying. So I guess he's pretty confident that they'll be able to defeat the demons with these guys. I don't know if one of them or most of them are gonna die because of it, but we'll see, man. It's the strongest unit since the feudal era. That's what the master is saying, so I'm wondering how old is he. Maybe he's immortal, I don't know, but maybe it's just by reading he thinks that they're the strongest unit. So we'll have to see, man. I can't wait to see what's coming next. Let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments down below, and let me know what you think is gonna happen next. I do Demon Slayer reviews every Saturday, so subscribe for that. But I also do other anime related things like Black Clover reviews on Tuesdays, Fire Force and Dr. Stone reviews on Fridays, and then, like I said, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer, and One Piece reviews on Saturdays. So stay tuned for all of that. There's 2 new anime coming to my channel this October. The first one is Boku no Hero Academia Season 4. I will review this anime for the entirety of the season, so stay tuned for that. And I will also review Sword Art Online Alicization War of the Underworld. It's the kind of the sequel to Sword Art Online Alicization, so I'm going to review the entirety of this season. I think it's going to be 24 episodes. So stay tuned for all of that. It's gonna be a great season. But yeah, man, it was a great Demon Slayer episode. I can't wait for the final 3 episodes. Like I said, I think it's gonna be renewed for a second season. It's way too good and way too popular to not do it. And you know, everything about this show is great, man. I've heard that later in the manga, after this season, it's even greater. So I can't wait, man. I really can't wait. But follow me at Anime Specialist on Twitter and Instagram, mostly on Twitter because I tweet a lot more. And like, comment, subscribe, it would help my channel a lot, man. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Anime Specialist out. Peace.